Yokoso, yokoso, yokoso. Konbanwa, arigato gozaimasu. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Stadia Monday Night Chat. I'm your host, Clive Ellenden. So join me on this May bank holiday here in the UK as we talk all the latest in the world of Stadia, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're good. I hope you are well. Remember to say hello in the chat, as after all, it is the Stadia Monday Night Chat, and you, lovely, bright, intelligent, super knowledgeable people, are the chat. So let me know that you're there in the chat. Let me know what you've been playing. Have you tried any of the Stadia Pro games for May? Or are you in denial that they actually exist until you see an actual blog post from Stadia saying they do? Anyway, bit of housekeeping as well. Don't forget to hit the likes, as I like it, YouTube likes it, and of course it helps. Brilliant, clever, intuitive people like you find great content like this. And if you are new here, then yokoso arigato gozaimasu. Please consider subscribing, hitting that notification bell so you know when I go live with great, marvelous content like this. Just like all the lovely people out there know. Yeah, you, I can see you in my mind. Ooh. Okay, let's see who the lovely people are. Let's see who the lovely fresh faces are at the start of the show, as it were. The early birds in chat, and say hello and all of that, and see what you are up to, ladies and gentlemen. First at the door, ladies and gentlemen, not messing about, Mr. Bayron Plays. How are you, sir? It's time to party. Party. Yes, sir, it is. And I believe you are bringing the drinks, according to John there. Sednar there, listening while working. Always the best. That's what I do. Roger, hello. How are you? Christopher Torres is also listening, so we'll talk in lovely AMSR type voice here. Or maybe we'll do hospital radio voice like The Rock. Welcome to local hospital radio here on Radio Rock. Only joking, Rock. Lovely voice. Ray, how are you there? Lovely to see you. Windstar, of course. Jerry, always good to see you. Dazzadini, good evening, sir. Lovely to see you there. Roger's been playing Lamote. Good shout there. Crow Rosine, how are you? Oh, yeah, and now your mama knows. The live stream's going to be epic. He's going to be out and about doing a tour. What kind of crazy guy? What's that all about, ladies and gentlemen? So check out Anthony's stream straight after this show. Lord knows what he's got planned, but I think he's going out and about asking people about cloud gaming. Whatever. Crazy. Let's hope he brings his violin and he can do a bit of busking and all of that. Games I've been playing. Well, obviously, you know, your standards. When I get a chance to play, my son is just, I say it every week, it's FIFA. He spent another 70, no, he didn't. Lie, bums on fire. He spent another 30 quid on foot points for FIFA. We spent over £100 on that. I tell you what, it makes a lot of sense to bring FIFA to Stadia, because it's maybe not the 30 quid or 40 quid you're going to pay just buying Stadia. It's the other 100 odd plus quid you're buying bloody foot points. I tell you what. Anyway, but also I have partaken in some of the Stadia Pro titles, more on that later. But Lamote, great. It's a proper logic puzzle game. You know, I guess if you are sort of comfortable with, I guess, logic gates, that kind of thing, it does require a bit of thinking up here. I've got to think hard sometimes. It is quite a lot of thinking, but really well done. Yeah, it really does make you think sometimes, and then it can be frustrating if you've worked it out and then you mess up and then you have to go back and try and remember, you know, that trigger that, do that, then go back, get that. Anyway, but really clever. And I love the way they don't spell it out what to do. You sort of got to, like good platformers, it's a sort of intuitive. You've got to kind of work it out, try things. And then when you try, you learn. And then from the learning, you kind of get a bit further and so on. So I love all that. Just been playing a bit of Kaze, call it what you will. Oh my gosh. I do like a good platformer. And I thought this would just be another platformer, but it is so well done. A real homage, tribute, call it what you will, to classic platforming games. Such a good example. They've really just got the balance just right on it. The frustration, the levels are just long enough that you think you've got to the end and then you mess up and you think, oh no, I've got to do it all again. And the timing and just brilliant. Frustrating in just the right way when you mess up. So really, really cool. That's a good shout out. That is Gandhara. Yeah. Very similar with the like in the Turing test, there's ones where you're sort of pushing electrical feeds or lights or magnets across to kind of trigger things to then get something to then be able to kind of put that on something. Yeah, very similar kind of logic gates and all that kind of stuff. Really good. But that's what I've been playing, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll say obviously a bit of PUBG and all of that. I haven't dived back into Outriders, but I've played a lot of that. I played it all the way through. I'm just stuck at the boss level and I think I'm not using the right technique because I don't think I'm going to get past him. But anyway, that's what I've been doing. But let me know in the chat and all of that. As I say, as I like to keep saying, it is the Stadia Monday Night Chat, and I love the chat and all of that. Look, even Dave's in the chat there. Hello, Dave. Hey. Loyal old Dave there. Good to see you. Right. Stadia, we have a problem. Well, it's May, people, and the Stadia Pro titles are here. We have games releasing this week and so much more. But apparently, Stadia, we have a problem. People seem to have a short memory when it comes to Stadia. As I've mentioned before in the show, a bit like children with a short attention span. And they just want that sort of dopamine kick of another present or opening another present or getting another game rather than just enjoying what they have. So as I often say on this show, you've got to look at things from a distance over a period of time. So let's just remind ourselves very briefly what April brought to us on Stadia. And I do this because they usually have funky music, so I'm probably going to get a copyright strike. But hey, let's live dangerously, people. Why not? You know, why not? I just think it's useful now and then just to remind ourselves, take that off, look back over the month, just to remind ourselves of what we've got. People sometimes become so focused just on the week or just on the day, and you sort of forget collectively over a period of time, this is sort of a long-term project. These things, it's not all happening in a day. It's happening over 1 year, 2 year. We're in the third year now. So it's sometimes just a useful reminder. And I find those little sort of April summaries and, monthly summaries really kind of just useful to take a step back from, that particular week you're in, where's the games? And just remind, oh yeah, I forgot about, oh yeah, Yeah, oh yeah, stuff has happened this week, this month, So anyway, that's all I'm saying. It's just worth sometimes reminding ourselves of these things, and all of that. So of course, Overcooked, though, oddly enough, featured there, but it's been delayed until this Friday, so not long yet for that. And of course, House of the Dead launched on Friday as well. Have you played that yet? I saw a bit of John Scar's stream of House of the Dead. I'm in two minds whether to give it a punt. Let me know. Can you convince me? Is it worth it? I mean, there's that whole nostalgia kick, isn't there? But is that enough for me to really kind of feel invested in the game just because of the nostalgia and all of that? I don't know. Anyway, finally finished Outriders, Clive. I had to bring some Stadians to help. Yeah. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe call in some help. Do you still qualify as finishing it, even if you do it with help? I don't know. Lloyd's in the chat there. MM2K, of course. Clive is alive. Yeah. Cloud Gaming Dad, how are you? Good to see you, sir. Also in the chat there. But anyway, let me know, House of the Dead and all of that. Is it worth giving it a punt? Talking of news and games coming to Stadia, why don't we go over to Clive at the Stadia Monday Night Chat news desk and get some news? Let's see if he's there. I said he's not there. Let's see if he's there. Are you there? Are you there? You ready? Okay, he's ready now. Sorry about that. Thanks, Clive. Welcome to the Stadia Monday Night Chat news. So yesterday saw the launch of Stadia Pro titles for May, as had been confirmed in an official Stadia press release last week. Google Stadia confirmed also in another official press release that Kaze and the Wild Masks joins Outriders, Paw Patrol the Movie, Adventure City Calls, and Lamote the Master Mote Chronicles in Stadia Pro on May the 1st. Still, there's no sign of Deliver Us the Moon, so that could drop as a Pro in this month, or maybe they'll hold that back until June. We'll have to wait and see. Titles that are said to be leaving Stadia Pro, also in an official Stadia Pro press release: Trine 4, The Nightmare Prince, Floor Kids, Kimono Heroes, Life is Strange Remastered, and Life is Strange Before the Storm Remastered. Although I did see some claims that the Life of Strange titles are still there, so you might need to check. In terms of new games launching this week, we have Overcooked, which had been officially delayed from release last week, and the developers tell us that we can expect to see this on the 5th of May, so that's Friday. In a Twitter post, the publisher stated it just needs a little more time in the oven. In addition, Friday also sees the launch of Elemental War 2, and that title is available on pre-order in the Stadia store right now. We have more incoming games from Outright Games, and they're expected soon, as they confirm that some DLC for existing games are on the back burner for Stadia, but they fully support the platform and will have some new games very, very shortly. All of this was confirmed in a tweet by Outright Games themselves. Furthermore, as if you need evidence that they are in fact delivering on that statement, DC League of Super Pets has recently been rated for Stadia, so we can expect this game soon. Watch this space as ever. Talking of future games, Ubisoft have been teasing the launch of Skull and Bones. This game seems to have been in development hell for years, but it's looking more and more like a certainty here. There was a recent leak of gameplay footage, so this could be Ubisoft managing that leak. It's been further reported in Kotaku, so take this information with a massive dose of sea salt, knowing that publication, that this could see a launch in autumn, or fall for our American friends, of this year. Anyway, keep watching that horizon. In Bring It to Stadia news, and more on that later, and possible future games for the platform, Project Z Kickstarter has officially launched, and if they get 105% of their Kickstarter goal, they will bring it to Stadia and GeForce Now. If you haven't already got yourself over to the Kickstarter page for Project Z, then you can see more information over on stadiadosage.com on how to pledge and invest in what looks like a pretty exciting title. It looks as if Lara Croft could be heading into the Embracer Group. As reported, Embracer Group has entered into an agreement to acquire Eidos, Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix Montreal for $300 million, which includes a catalogue of IPs which include Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, Thief, Legacy of Kain, and more than 50 back catalogue games from Square Enix Holdings. In an official press release, again, an official press release, they state, "We are thrilled to welcome these studios into the Embracer Group. We recognise the fantastic IP, world-class creative talent and track record of excellence that have been demonstrated time and again over the past decades," says Lars Wingfors, co-founder and group CEO of the Embracer Group. Embracer allows us to forge new partnerships across all media to maximise our franchise's potential and live our dreams of making extraordinary entertainment, says Phil Rogers, Square Enix America and Europe CEO. Many publishers within the Embracer Group bring titles to Stadia already, including THQ Nordic, Saber Interactive, Koch Media, with games like Wreckfest, World War Z, Darksiders, Saints Row. So, as far as the impact on Stadia is concerned, I'd say it's as you were. And finally, it looks as if Stadia Store is getting a much needed update. As reported on this show several weeks ago, we had noticed some very clean landing pages for games with nice, clean, simple URLs. The game pages look so much better now, with a nice clear path for users, with 3 play trials where they're available and any DLC, etc., all on a nice page with a nice clean URL. Let's hope they overhaul the Google TV UI next. Anyway, that's all on the Stadia news this week, so it's back to Clive in the live Stadia Monday Night Chat studio. Clive, back to you. Thanks, Clive. There we are. That's the Stadia news of the week. Exactly. Always look out for press releases there, John. Don't know if you noticed that in the news. There we go. Also, in other news as well. Did you forget it, Clive? Did you forget the other? Yeah, okay. In other news, it looks like, just checks Mike, it looks like that Stadia, as ever, is continuing to tweak and improve aspects of the platform, like, I don't know, like somehow it's got a future or it's here to stay. Fancy that. Anyway, they continue to tweak and touch the controls. They continue to tweak and in particular touch controls, as revealed in a recent Stadia APK unpacking by 9 to 5 Google. Let's just have a quick look at here. So Stadia 4.13 preps some game-specific touch controls and possible 1440p. Normal caveat. Keep in mind that Google may or may not ever ship these features, and our interpretation of what they may be, what they are, may be imperfect. We'll try to enable those that are closer to being finished. Most of the stuff, if we're honest, that they found in the APKs, most of it does come to fruition. So there we go. Anyway, in the last few updates, Google has been working on enterprise features which have been closely related to work of the touchscreen gamepad Stadia offers when you don't have a controller contracted. Google gives the best look at yet what's in store for touch play. And as you can say, they've got these icons. Aren't they sort of cool? So the developer, rather than putting, just having the overlay of the XAYB, XYBA, whatever buttons, they can actually put, get out your knife, lightning strike, charge up, whatever. There's actual icons they can use. This is an obvious one. There, run or duck. I guess that's running. Is that running? That's running fast. That's running. That's a gun. But you can see, you can see the point there. Just a real clever way. And I don't understand it. Apparently, they've already got it on some things. They got it on Luna and they have it on Xbox control. Yeah, okay, great. So apparently it's a good idea. So Stadia's doing it as well, which is great to see. I don't think they'd go to the effort of creating all these specific graphics that have been found. Oh yeah, lob a grenade. This is just for PUBG. That's run. Yeah, I'm not sure they would specifically add these, create these graphics and add them into the Stadia APK if they weren't actually going to bring them. So I think that's really exciting. I'm not personally a person who really plays Stadia on my mobile, or certainly, I've got, what have I got here? I've got like I've got a game, sir. Game, sir? A game, sir? Then I've got my freaky Korean Italian design controller. Plus I've got some conventional controllers where you rest it in the cradle and that kind of stuff. But with me old eyes, I can't really see the screen that well. So I don't really play on the mobile that much, and I certainly not with the touch controls. But I know people do, and I know people sort of swear by it and love playing with sort of the touch controls and all of that kind of thing. So I get it, and I love the fact that they're tweaking and improving the overall Stadia experience. Whether that's new Stadia UI, as was mentioned by Clive in the news, or touch controls, etc., etc. So let me know what you think. Are you a person who loves to use the kind of Stadia with your mobile and stuff, waiting in the car? I always see tweets of people talking about how they're waiting in the car as they're whipping out the Stadia, having a play. The Stadia, whipping out Stadia and having a play. 1440p streaming. Yeah, Christopher does. When he's on the road. Yeah, you see, there's a market for it. There's demographic for it. Also spotted here, possible 1440p streaming coming to mobile. If you have a Stadia Pro and a monitor larger than this is for the web app, is automatically provides a 1440p stream. On Android, however, there's no option to stream anything higher than 1080p, which to me is fine. Although I am reliably informed I have seen on Twitter that people say, no, I have a 4K phone and I notice the difference on 4K. So yeah, hey, look, if you can do it, do it. So with Stadia 4.13, there's a new mention in code of up to 1440p, which could suggest that progress is being made towards offering a higher resolution through the mobile app. Such an addition would be perfect for the Pixel 6 Pro, which offers a native 1440p display. I guess, actually, if you manufacture a phone yourself that has 1440p display, it might be a good idea if that same company that has a gaming platform can play the game in 1440p on your special 1440p phone that you make. That makes sense. See, tablet, you see, that makes more sense to me. Playing on a tablet, perhaps. But I know, tablets, I don't know. Again, tablets aren't for me. When they first came out, I kind of got it, but like now I can sort of do everything on my phone, and if I want to do anything larger, just go on my PC. But I can get it, especially with kids and stuff. Tablet, give them something to play, perfect. And there's Hawk in his videos there. I'm looking at here. So I was talking about here. So Stadia Adventure was talking about tablet, and Anthony is talking about his MGX Pro controller reviews, the best mobile controller. Check out his review. See if you agree. So there you go. That is things to look out for on the Stadia APK and all of that exciting stuff. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about 100 Days, the game. More specifically, let's talk about the business of the game and the developer. So one big thing that came out this week from the developer of 100 Days, the wine-making game, the winemaking simulation, the winemaking simulation game. They should have a wine-drinking simulation game. One thing that came out from them was really interesting and shone a light on some of the strategies that Stadia are putting forward. Now, 100 Days is a game that launched on Stadia, obviously, and is a Stadia Pro title as well. And the developer, Eves, revealed some interesting figures in terms of sales, actual sales of the game on Stadia, not just Stadia, on other platforms, relative to other platforms, and revenue from Stadia. So let's check it out. Now, this has been covered by a number of people, but of course, we're going to go to stadiadosage.com if you want to stay up to date. All your latest news. So here we are. Stadia can account for 25% or better in indie dev revenue. So here is the post from Yves Hola. Some data update on the left. So let me just make that large so you can see it. On the left, we have the percentage of distribution of all copies sold of 100 days. So over here, I hope you can see my little cursor whizzing around. This is sales of the game. Okay, so this is sales of the game. Now, obviously, this big chunk here, which I presume is blue, I'm colorblind, looks blue to me, is Steam PC, the PC game, you know, along obviously GOG and Epic Game Store and stuff like that. But the majority of it, Steam, 63% of sales of the game. So this is copies, so number of units sold, as it were, 63% on Steam. And they include mobile sales here as well. They've got PlayStation there. They've got Switch. PlayStation is 4.4%. Switch, 4.4%. PlayStation, 0.3%. It's not been out long, I don't think, on PlayStation, in fairness. Android, 7.1%. iOS, 18%. itch.io there, 0.2%. And Stadia here, 1.9%. So you've heard MM2K talk about it. You've heard me talk about it, that cloud gaming is effectively a 2% business, okay? And we keep seeing figures that sort of within that margin, you know, 1.5 to maybe 3.5%. Okay, and this would seem, this is only one piece of information, but it would seem to sort of back that data up. So roughly 2% of sales of units, of total units sold, 2% of the total units sold was on Stadia. Okay, so that's probably about par for the course. But ladies and gentlemen, what is interesting is income distributions. So basically actual revenue. Yeah. So obviously, given the amount of sales on Steam, PC and Steam, the biggest amount of revenue, actual income, comes from Steam. The second largest revenue, 21.7% here of revenue, comes from Stadia Pro, and 2.9%. So bearing 1.9% of copies, of all copies were sold on Stadia, it actually represents 2.9%. So that basically means that GOG, EGS, Steam are giving it away a lot cheaper, so they have to sell more copies. So the actual revenue return on actual copies of Stadia is pretty good compared to the amount of copies actually sold. But look at this. So overall, 25% of income, nearly 25% of income is from Stadia total. But look at Stadia Pro at 21.7% of the income distribution comes from Stadia Pro. So this is them partaking in the Stadia Pro revenue share. Over 20% just partaking in the Stadia Pro plan. To me, that's really enlightening and eye-opening. And it really seems to me that the new Stadia Pro incentive model for publishers, as mentioned last year at Google for Games Developer Conference and re-emphasized this year. My Google's stop. Apologies if your Google kicked off. The Stadia Pro incentive model for publishers is clearly paying off. And this is great. This is great data to share. Lots of things we've seen announced by Stadia at last year's Google for Games Developer Conference really seem to be bearing fruit. And it's very encouraging to see a developer sort of pull back the curtain and reveal some actual data on this. You know, and now we've got low change porting, bringing new publishers on board. We've got new free trials. There were 12 new, at least, I think it was 12 or 13. I forgot, I mentioned it last year, but not last year, last week. About 12 free trials. The new game landing pages. The Stadia Pro revenue model really paying dividends. For me, this is all really encouraging stuff. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, Stadia has a problem. Problem is, it's letting the world know all this awesome stuff. Recently, so anecdotally, I've seen a couple of developers, when asked about Stadia or talking about Stadia, whether they're going to bring their game to Stadia, sort of repeat some old, sort of tired, dated news. Oh, I thought they were closing down, or I heard that they didn't treat developers really well, and then quoting an article from over 2 years ago, nearly 3 years ago. Or, you know, just, you know, touching on stuff they'd read, which is just, you know, cheap facsimiles of old dated news. When clearly Stadia has moved on significantly, especially from since February 2021, when they closed SG&E. You know, think a lot of water under the bridge then. And people still hark about, you know, some developers still have in their mind and all of that. As also pointed out here, of course, the affiliate program by Stadia Venture, the affiliate program launching June the 30th as well. Plus, as I say, they're rolling out the low change porting and all of that. We're seeing continued development and improvement from Stadia. And I for one, don't doubt that Stadia is going to hit 100 plus games this year. You know what, as a casual gamer, for that is what I am. I've realized this more and more recently. I love gaming, but I'm definitely a casual gamer. I'm sort of quite a heavy casual gamer, but I would definitely class myself in the demographic of casual gamer. And Stadia's like the ideal fit for me. I love playing, you know, I've always been a console guy because it can sit under the TV, and, you know, I love playing games on the TV. I don't like sitting at my PC. Really, I've never been a PC gamer. I do game here because Stadia is on the Chrome browser, and sometimes I want to stream and stuff like that. But in my kind of casual, taking time off kind of stuff, you know, just gaming for me, I like to sit down in front of the TV. whichever one in the house I happen to be at. Fire up the Stadia app, pick and play a game from a vast library of curated titles. I'm not that desperate for some nerdy PC game or shovelware on Steam. I'm not salivating at Elden Ring, but, you know, look, if it came to Stadia, of course I'd try it. But for me, as long as there's a good selection of titles that I can dip in and play casually when I want, no hassle, I feel like I'm in the mood for gaming, and it's there instantly, then for me, that's super cool. That's why Stadia for me is definitely my platform of choice. It's convenience. There is a big library of games. Instant play. Always a nice selection of Stadia Pro games to try. As I've mentioned before on the show, my son almost plays FIFA exclusively. So if you're the sort of person that just wants to play a few games a year, Stadia has you covered. No need to buy an expensive console to justify maybe playing 3 or 4 games a year. No need to subscribe. And yet as a founder and Stadia Pro subscriber, I've more games on this platform than I've ever had on any other platform in my gaming life. Now, that's partly because of instant downloads, no storage issues. I was a casual gamer then, and I'm a casual gamer now, which is why I'm fine with Stadia. And you know what? I think there are millions of people out there that fit a very similar demographic. So I get it. I get it. For the more hardcore gamer that must have the latest cutting edge console, the newest game, the top graphics card in their PC, Stadia's probably not going to do it for them. And that's fine. After all, they've got the latest console, the top-end graphics card. So, you know, you're good. There's nothing wrong in that. What I've come to realize is, if you criticize Stadia, and that's fine, everything is, you know, Stadia's not perfect. Everything is, you know, justifiable of some sort of criticism if you really want. And Stadia certainly, there's plenty to criticize if you want to. But my point is, if you are going to criticize Stadia, all I ask, first and foremost, ask yourself, is it for me? Am I the core demographic? Are they trying to appeal to me and my gaming needs? Because if not, then maybe it's not Stadia that has the problem. There, I said it. Then I say it's you. A Stadia may not be for you, or you have the wrong understanding of who Stadia is targeting. And that is fine. That is fine. If it's not for you, but have you ever stopped to think it might be just right for someone else? And it's interesting because I was thinking about this topic a little earlier, and I have a real bugbear about something. Bugbears about lots of things, but in particular, right? And this is, you know, controversial. But I'm just going to provide you some sort of context about platforms and gaming and how it, you know, it is for some people, and it may, you know, one platform is for some people and another platform may be for other people, whatever. The Steam Deck. When the Steam Deck was announced, I, from my gaming perspective, thought, what is the point? Who on earth wants a big, clunky mobile device to carry around with you? Like, what is the point of it, right? Oh my God, what is the point of it? So it's easy for me to criticize. Why do you want a big clunky thing? You can just play on your mobile or your tablet or stream from the cloud. Like it felt like old technology. But what I've realized and definitely seen, is it is hugely popular. Nerd Nest do a whole load of videos on it. They love it. Lloyd in the chat loves it. Bill loves it. Yeah. And what I realized is it's easy for me to criticize from my point of view because it's not for me. I'm not a nerdy PC gamer who wants my PC games with me. I don't have a massive Steam library. I've never had a massive Steam library. I've got about 3 games in a Steam library, and I think they're all my kids. They're all my kids' games. PC gaming doesn't appeal to me, and that's fine. So it just made me realize it's my attitude towards the Steam Deck, and like, what's the point of it? Why would I want that? I can flip that round and understand from certain point of view where people go, well, what's the point? Why Stadia? It's not for me. It's not fast enough. Or I want better graphics. Why is it not all everything 4K, 120 frames per second? Oh my God. Fine. But just because it's not for you, just because it doesn't fulfill everything you need, then that's fine. If you want to off-road, don't buy a Ferrari. Well, how can I off-road in that? Well, get an off-road car. If you want to go super fast, don't get an off-road car, get a Ferrari. It's that kind of thing. But don't criticize people who love to off-road. Equally, off-roaders don't criticize people who love speed merchants. So I was just thinking about it from that point of view. Of course, we should hold things that we like. We should, when we feel they fall short. All these things we should definitely inquire, criticize, ask questions, probe, all of that on a platform. But just think about where you're coming from your perspective. Most of the community is fine, and I get it. And, we have issues. There are things we want to see and things that aren't on Stadia, and we wish Stadia were more clear about things. Of course, I get it. I wish they were. I wouldn't have to do these kind of stuff. But there you go. Just sharing some sort of philosophical points. And cloud gaming is here. They're not philosophical points, really. We're not discussing philosophy, are we? But you know what I mean. Anyway, and cloud gaming is here, and it's here to stay. And I tell you what, and it's super important to actual cloud providers like Google, Amazon, Microsoft, the 3 key pioneers in cloud gaming. What about Nvidia, Clive? Well, their interest is in selling graphic cards. And if gaming is going to the clouds, you want to be the person who's supplying graphic cards for the clouds, basically. But there's an interesting article that was shared with me today by Marcus G. Knight. And I just want to share it here. He says, and this is from an article aimed at the cloud gaming business, not cloud gaming, at the cloud business, not cloud gaming business, from datacenters.com. And they talk about here the rise of cloud gaming, and basically talk through how companies like Amazon, cloud gaming is a new buzzword and the potential to shake up the industry. The pandemic has caused a sudden spike in the gaming industry, generated revenue of $156 billion, and it's predicted to gross $200 billion by 2023. This is gaming in general. Cloud gaming is a new buzzword with the potential to shake the industry. So the new frontier in gaming ecosystem, with several major cloud providers offering their services. And it just triggered something in my mind. Major cloud providers. Let's not forget why Google is doing this and why they're so heavily invested in it and why it's gonna, it's got a long-term future with Google. The real reason they're in it is that they are obviously a major cloud company. I've talked about it on this show months ago, how, you know, cloud gaming is the big push in the Alphabet group, not cloud gaming. The cloud, providing cloud's enterprise services is the big major push for the Alphabet group. So, of course, we know that's why Amazon are doing it. That's why Google is doing it. And they put PlayStation here, but that's not why they're doing it. That's why Microsoft are doing it. Anyway, so they could talk about here, final words. Cloud gaming is booming and it keeps getting better with each passing day. Stadia will never be better. Stadia has never been better than it is now. I've said that on the show before. Every day things get better. Takes your favorite game from the server, runs it on powerful industrial strength systems inside a secure data center. It feels like we're onto something big. The rollout of 5G technology will optimize the power of the cloud gaming. So this, again, is not aimed at gamers or anything like this. This is aimed at the sort of data center industry and cloud and all of that. But I just thought it was an interesting article just to emphasize the importance of Stadia to Google. Not from a gaming point of view, but as a sort of provision of cloud point of view, in the same way it is for Amazon. And realistically, obviously, it's existential for Xbox, but also for Microsoft Azure, Microsoft. So there you go. Let me know what you think. Anyway, down in the chat and all of that. Right then, ladies and gentlemen. Talking of chat, no, I lie. It's time for... Yes, another feature, another look at another Bring It to Stadia. I've lost my docs 1 second. Bear with me as I call up. So there's another game been spotted in the wild. I just want to focus on in the Bring It to Stadia. And it's this game here. So there was this tweet here by Sarah Earle here. After months of blood, sweat and tears, the Motor Cubs Kickstarter is now live. Please check it out and share if you can. This has been such an exciting project to work on. Okay, and we'll go there in a minute. Of course, Ralph there, Mr. 1030, straight in there with a question. May I ask, could you port it basically for the Stadia platform? Could it be possible? And here, from that indie says, sure. I think a Stadia port would be very doable after our Linux port is done, since Stadia is based on Debian links, but uses Vulkan graphics, I think. Just depends on the link stretch goal. Looks like, and so he's asked, and he goes, looks like Stadia is doable, but a separate testing and porting scenario. I'll discuss potential new stretch goal with the team. Okay, so it looks like we've piqued his interest, ladies and gentlemen. We've piqued the interest of that particular developer. Let's check out the Kickstarter here. So it's called Motor Cubs RC. So it looks like a kart racing game here. Good job. I'm not going to play that music because, yeah. Oh my, look, teddy bears. Oh, they're cubs, aren't they? Bear cubs. Cute teddy bears. In cute toy cars. What's not to like, ladies and gentlemen? Motor cubs. Baby bears. Baby bears in motor cars. Anyway, it goes on. They talk about, have we got any more game footage? And they're going to look to bring it to Mac, PlayStation, Xbox. Pledge your support now. So if you're interested, definitely, let me put this if you're interested, pledge your support, but also let the developer know that you'd love to see it. I'm going to post this tweet as well. I'll put them in the description as well if you're watching later, and all of that kind of stuff. So let me know. No, not let me. Let them know that you're interested, because again, it looks another cool game. Along, let's not forget that Project Z, as I said, is also launched on a Kickstarter. But this could be another potential game we could see its way to Stadia via the Kickstarter. The developer has confirmed that as I say, the Stadia port is doable. So let's give them encouragement. I know some questions were asked by the developer a bit later that I asked. And again, I touched on it earlier. Or they mentioned, I've heard some sort of bad things from developers in an article I read in 2001. So I basically said, look, just talk to other developers like Eves. And I shared that tweet that Eves from 100 Days shared about the revenue stream. Put them in touch with Heavy on the Sticks, the Stadia product manager, things like that. So just show your encouragement that we want to bring it to Stadia. Get over to that Kickstarter and check it out. See for yourself. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that was, of course, right. Shall we have a pointless mini rant? Why not? This is again, it's me. It's not you. Shout out there. Oh, thank you. I will. I'm a cider man, but I will indeed. Thank you very much for the £10. I didn't see my alerts. We can't have that. Let's just check out the alerts. Oh, there it is. Come on, Mr. Alert. You're not very alert, are you? Anyway, there we go. Thank you for the super chat, Twisted Barber. Really, really appreciated and all of that. Anyway, maybe you'll take it back. Maybe you're one of these people I'll have a little rant about. It's all meant in the car. I'm only joking. Caveat, yeah? But just little things annoy you. Like I was eating some, I made myself a Korean street food today, some sort of a Korean egg toasty thing. And it's very sumptuous and delicious. And I was eating it next to my daughter, and she just turned to me and she said, Dad, do you have to eat so fucking loud? So I know things annoy people. So this thing slightly annoys me. So here we go. I notice that some people on social media are obsessed. Okay, they seem obsessed that Stadia did not post an official blog talking about the Stadia Pro titles. Even when the Stadia Pro titles automatically appeared in the store on the 1st of May, people were still asking, well, where's the official announcement? Where's the official announcement on Twitter? As if Twitter is the only way to officially announce something. An official press release is the very definition of an official announcement by an organization. Just because Stadia decided to try a slightly different way of communicating, I showed you a press release from the Ember Group officially announcing the acquisition of certain Square Enix properties and IP, like in a official press release. So it's maybe Stadia just trying something new, but like people are just like, no, it's different. It's not what I'm used to. People are almost like in denial. I even pointed out on somebody that it was officially announced in a press release. Because, in fairness, the Stadia social media, having a bit of a day off, I don't know what it is, but when asked, are you going to announce the Stadia Pro title, said, we have no news on that yet. So like, I don't know, somebody fell over the template button. And I pointed out to Stadia at the time, you did announce it in a press release. And somebody went to me, yeah, but that's a press release. So I'm paraphrasing here. Yeah, so not official, hence that's why they say they haven't announced it. And I was like, what? In what way is a press release not official? It's the very definition of official. Anyway, it just amused me, yeah? An amused bouquet, yeah? Amused me that people seem so obsessed. Well, even when the titles were actually in the store. I can see the titles in the store. Where's the official announcement? Doesn't matter now, they're in the store. You know you're getting Stadia Pro titles on May. And hey, we might get some more. We don't know. Do you agree? Am I being harsh? I can be harsh. You know, I'm not always a likable chap. I know that. I can be a bit harsh. I just have my standards. I have high standards. I can't be all smiley, nicey like some people. You know, but hey, feel free to disagree. Have I cut you to the bone with my biting satire? Are you the one watching going, wait a minute, that's me. I was the one, I wanted to Stadia. He's having a go at me. Hey, it's just a bugbear. I'm just having a little bit of a tease and a pop. It's all joshing. It's all bants, as they say. It's all fun and all of that. Hey, but let me know. Why don't we go to the chat? Yeah. An abused bouquet. Exactly. Good spot there, Mr. Bayram. Good spot. Why don't we go to chat, see what you guys have been up to, chatting about. Well, I've been ranting and raving and all of that nonsense. Let's get to the chatmobile. Right. You know what? Pedder. It is that and K's. I was almost worried that I'd missed the show today with playing Kaze. Kaze sounds like toilet. It's an old UK expression. Going to the Kazi. I'm going to the Kazi. Derivative of an old, I think, old Indian word. Go to the Kazi from old Empire days. Kaze, K's. Anyway, that is also, I was almost like thinking, I had to keep checking the watch because I was thinking, oh my God, it's so addictive. You fail, do it again. But Lamote really had my scratching my head and frustrating, but it is great. It is super great. I think you're talking about the IDOS deal. Yeah, Square Enix. It is a deal. I've seen City Skylines creating positive chatter and PC feeds, a little like FIFA's next gen features did. Yeah. John. Twisted Barber, how are you, sir? Thank you for the money, sir. I love playing on my phone. We know Anthony. So Anthony is a prime example of somebody who loves playing on his phone. He's never off his phone. He streams on his phone, all of that. So Anthony, you're looking forward to updated touch controls. I'm not sure how much companies will go back and update them. It's probably going to be an opportunity for more games and stuff like that. Yeah, I find that as well. It's not for me. I rarely play on the mobile Chromebook or smart TV. Interesting. I play on my Razer Kishi on the road. Okay, you see? Different horses for different courses, even within the Stadia. Touch controls are good on the tablet when you're watching TV and playing point and click. Yeah, I agree. When it comes to cloud services, Amazon, Microsoft Azure, and Google are market leaders, and they are super competitive. That's why when people go, "Oh, Google will close it down," no, it's too important. It's not in a way, arguably, it's not the gaming aspect. It's the making use of the servers. I play exclusively on my TV. Roger, I'm almost with you there. As I say, I only really play on the PC when I'm streaming or Lord Kensal is streaming and stuff like that. The ultimate coffee table console. Yeah. I've mostly always been PC, but controller on the TV. Yeah, and I guess there is that appeal in the Venn diagram, that crossover. If people who like playing keyboard and mouse can play Stadia on the PC. If you're a console guy, you could just pick up your console, play it on the old big TV. You filthy casual gamer. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Jinx, I just got Stadia and I'm good. Mr. W, how are you? What are your thoughts about the Nerf report video? Stadia has a problem. Good question. We know there are issues with Stadia. It has missed out on some big games, which would give the platform credibility. Given the size of the market and the investment, I can understand DLCs being delayed or not coming, which is, again, a problem, an issue. So, yeah, I get it. But change the record is what I'd say. This is old. We know this. We know this. And I think collecting a few anecdotal examples and then creating a video, whilst interesting, is just, to a certain degree, rehashed old news or going over issues that we know are issues. And it's not as though Stadia is not trying to solve the problems or recognize that they're still growing. And we need to recognize that it is a 2% market, as just demonstrated by Eve's sales and mentioned by M2K. This is not to excuse it. These are issues and problems that Brian brought up that need to be addressed. They do need to be addressed. And as Stadia grows, hopefully they will be addressed. That will be the sort of outcome of Stadia building and growing as a platform. But yeah, if you come to it expecting everything to be there, then you're going to be disappointed and you're going to see a problem. But yeah, so, I think it was an interesting video. I think there were some salient points there. But if I'm frank, a lot of it's old news. So, you had a few people jumping on it going, see, we've been saying it for years. See, Brian agrees with us. Stadia's doomed. And I think, well, I don't think Brian's saying Stadia's doomed. He just wants Stadia to do better. No, he said, just like we did. We said it was doomed 2 years. See, we were right. You see, Brian says we were right. You see, yeah, I don't think that's what Brian is saying. I think he just wants Stadia to do better. We all want Stadia to do better. But at the same time, recognize it is making changes, as I've talked about in this show. And those changes are having an effect. But as I always say, maybe not at the speed everybody wants. But I don't think these are indicative. Some of these problems are indicative that Stadia is somehow failing or is going to close or any of that kind of nonsense that videos like Brian's inevitably attracts that kind of chatter. Yeah, even though that may not have been the intent, it inevitably attracts that, because it aspects of the video reinforces people's view and makes them feel like, oh, they were right. I was right. You see, Brian says so I'm right. But I don't think it was Brian's point. That's all I'm saying. I can't speak for him, but my impression is I don't think that's the point, to somehow prove that a lot of naysayers from 18 months ago were somehow right. I think he's just pointing out that there's work to be done. But at the same time, I think, as I say, we've got to recognize Stadia knows there's work to be done. So, yeah. You're the preacher, MM2K. I try not to get preachy about it. I get ranty. I'm holding off on PS5 because I have Stadia. Fair enough. I mean, I have an Xbox Series S, but I bought that for my son because not every game he wants to play was on Stadia. As it turns out, FIFA 22 is on Stadia. And suddenly he got into FIFA 22 when he went to high school, and now he's never off it. But there's still games he goes back and plays. Okay, not on the Xbox because he's turned into a PC gamer. I tell you who plays on the Xbox Series S. No, actually on my old Xbox because it's downstairs because she's a casual gamer. No, she sometimes plays on his. Is my daughter who still plays Minecraft on the Xbox. So there we go. That's about the only game. My sons are getting back into Sea of Thieves, and so am I a little bit. But Sea of Thieves occasionally, mostly Minecraft is the only games that get played on Xbox, and I'm paying 13 quid or whatever it is a month for the privilege of playing a couple of games. But there we go. People's patience, exactly. That's why I played at the beginning the April summary, just to remind yourself that actually lots of stuff happens over time. But if you narrowly focus on one day or a week or whatever, people are saying, oh, there's only 18 games. How's, so therefore Stadia aren't going to hit the 100+ games. It's like, what if Stadia suddenly announced 10 games in the next 2 weeks? Suddenly we're at 28 games. We know there's loads of games coming already. I don't doubt they're 100. They don't have to be consistent. There just might be a flurry of games. It's too early. Let's judge them at the end of the year. As ever, each year I tend to judge, have Stadia ticked off the things they said they were trying to do? Not what other people have said they're trying to do, what Stadia have said to do. And they did last year, hit 100 games, rolled out a few of the features they mentioned in the Google for Games Developer Conference. This year, let's judge them on that by the end of the year. I try to bring the facts. Stadia brought a whole heap of gamers who were never going to buy a console, again, back to gaming. You see that anecdotally, don't you, Stadia Venture? Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more, MM2K. Make sure you hit the likes. And if you are new, I don't always rant and rave. Yes, you do, you're lying. Okay, sometimes I rant and rave. Hit the subscribe button if you like that. Hit it even if you don't, and I'll try not to. Bring in the bacon. I can't justify spending 500 quid on it. No. I had almost every type of computer console going. Yeah, get a decent TV. Get yourself an LG C2 or something even now. David, how are you, sir? Chariot Man Gaming. Always make sure you check out Chariot Man Gaming. Very entertaining videos. Always worth checking out. Also, I think I've seen you on TikTok or Instagram or Shorts. In the short format. I can't forget what platform it's on. Geek the Sneak. How you going? Oh, Kel. I hope if FIFA 23 comes to Stadia, and I mentioned, I'm pretty positive I will be, and I will admit it if it does not come to fruition. I'm pretty sure it will. If FIFA 23 doesn't, well, you never know. FIFA 23 doesn't come, I'll be super disappointed. But the fact that I had a redonkulous sale of FIFA 22, to me, was that data collection. As I said, EA makes a bucket load, certainly from my son, just on the coins. So I think there's enough there on Stadia, the FIFA fans on Stadia, to justify it, because I don't know what the revenue is per game, that per copy of FIFA, but it's not the asking price 60 quid or even 14.95 as it was in the super sale on Stadia, or going free to play on PS Now as a sort of promotion thing, because they know, like Fortnite, they're going to make a packet of the FUT points, the foot points, and all of that. Check out Chariot Man Gaming. He's going to be streaming tonight the Stadia Pro Games of May. Oh, I think you mentioned it last week. I definitely, yeah, would love to see a skater game. Definitely. Skateboard game. Jack Boots, a very expressed in an interview before launch. Stadia wasn't about porting thousands of games to the cloud. He did. In fact, it was and another interview around about the same time. They specifically, it might have been Jack Booster, it may have been somebody else, but around about the same time, they specifically talked about curating titles and not being like Steam and just basically opening the door to everything. Yeah. But about having a curated title. Are there duds on Stadia? What games do you think are real duds? I mean, for me, I'm not talking about bad ports. I'm talking about games that basically look like shovelware. Now, you could say some of the point and click adventures, but they're really good. They're good versions of that kind of genre, to be honest. Stacks on stacks on stacks for me is the weird one. But it's weird because you get some really weird games on Steam that you would say is shovelware, and yet a streamer jumps on it. What's that? Headmaster, Boldy's Headmaster, or Headmaster Boldy. I don't know if you've ever seen streamers playing it. It just looks such a bad game, and yet they love it. Slush is hungry. Definite hiccups, of course. Keller, if you keep saying it, you keep saying it really is it. Have I missed something? I'm looking it up now. I'm not seeing it, if that is the case. But if it is, wow. Hit the like, says Jerome. It's this entitlement BS. Ooh. Not for me to say. But it's like anything in life. And I'm guilty of it as well in life. What do you want to do that for? You idiot. Oh my God. Who on earth has an iPhone? Oh, sheeple. Who am I to say? iPhone suits people. They love it, and that's fine. And it suits their thing. It's just not for me. But that's just because it's not for me doesn't mean it's for other people. Who am I to criticize? That's fine. If a pro title drops in Stadia store, does it make a sound? Exactly. Very good. Very good. I like that. That's good. Crossplay will be awesome. Oh, Judgment. I haven't finished Judgment, Jerome. Oh my God. Oh. It was peculiar, Roger. I get it. I get it. Almost last month, I think it was one where I quite like, a part of me, I know part of me likes it just like Christmas Day. Waking up on the first and just finding out what I've got. I'm the sort of person who never wanted to know what my Christmas presents were. When I was at school, my mates go, "Oh yeah, I went searching. I'm going to be searching for my Christmas presents. I know where my mum and dad they hide them." I was like, "No, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to do that?" So I quite like it, but it's a surprise. I'm happy with them just dropping it, and then in all fairness, doing a blog post going, "I am holding out for FIFA 23. Don't worry, Andy." EA football clubs is more likely going to have crossplay. Personally, I can't see crossplay happening on FIFA 22. Yeah, I think probably the next game. Definitely. Those are the same journalists begging to be on the press release. Well, look, I'm not going to criticize people, but yeah. I'm not on the press release, but I know somebody who is. But that's the point. Maybe they're trying something, The point of a press release is you release it to all, to the media, and they tell the world what's happening. Yeah. Yeah, they did a press release and everything on their official channels. So, and we got a TWAS tomorrow, so they'll probably summarize it tomorrow. Is that an issue? Maybe it's just the way the days, maybe it's a combination of, who knows, trying something new, trying to use media outlets to sort of reach more people, new people, not, people who aren't necessarily Stadia people. Stadia people know. And if not, they can just wake up on the 1st of May and find out. Who knows? And maybe it's just the way the days fell. But I'm sure it'll be summarized into twas. And hey, who knows? We might get something else. They should have did a tweet. I think they should. But I'm not, my point, I guess my little mini rant is, I know what they were. I tweeted it. John tweeted it from official sources. 9 to 5 Google if you don't believe a press release. And I saw somebody questioning John. Well, yeah, no, he's just some bloke. How's he know? Well, he got a press release. He's doing his job. House of the Dead for some classic arcade action. Okay, I'm in an R-ing about it. Maybe I'll try it for 2 hours and refund if I don't like. That's the beauty, Chariot Man, yeah. Jerome is 99% on his TV. Yeah. Oh my God, she had a vacation and a half, Consino. Is that a birthday vacation? Oh, I should do that. Oh, Roger, absolutely. That is going to be one of the biggest things. Look, I haven't got a problem with Bryant making a video. That's what we do. And he's decided that was a good subject matter. And, look, in fairness, it's a beefy subject matter. There's lots there. And that's fine, You just got to, I guess, consider the responsibility you have as a content creator about what your video is doing and who it might attract and stuff. Or then again, maybe, care not if you want to make your point. I mean, that's fine. Brian is a massive fan of Stadia. And it is frustrating if you're a massive fan. It's like being a massive fan of a football club and they don't do anything again, it's a very UK soccer thing, during the transfer window, and you're seeing other clubs buy big players and you're going, wow, our club don't care. The owners of our club, they're not buying big players. How are we going to succeed next year? And it's frustrating. I get that. If you're a fan of a football club and they're not buying the players and other football clubs are, I get it. It's all doomed. There are issues that need addressing, like all platforms, and the companies realise they are. Those absolutely MM2K, and they're not going to be addressed. Boom, immediately. Yeah, you sow the seeds, you plant the seeds, you grow the flower, you eat the fruit. It takes time. These things, Pandemic's put back the Indian market. Well, we don't know, but yeah, they need a World of Warships. My son played World of Tanks, I think it was, for a while. Warframe. That would work well, wouldn't it? Stadia Christmas party. Yeah, they'll forget to send out the invites. Boom, boom. Hey, Mr. Ken, it's Mr. Ken. Ken, Mr. W. It's good. Reigns. No, I like Reigns. Roger. I'm not sure it's Duff. You could put it in the point and click adventure things, although it is a bit odd. The pack games were highly rated on Steam. Oh my God. Anthony's at the Mao. Oh, there's a big question. Do you know what? I was thinking about that very thing today, Ron, and I'm already getting a bit stressed about doing it. And what? It's not even the summer. Let's for now say I hope so, all things being equal. Yeah. It just this is a big run up. Maybe waiting for Deliver Us to the Moon to drop. You never know. House of Dead is fun. Roger, Brian is one of the biggest Stadia supporters. I agree. Absolutely agree. And I get it. You know, other people, Stadia Source, you know, Lee, a lot of people criticize Lee and think Lee from Stadia Source and think he's always down on Stadia. I don't think he is. I think he's just, you know, he's a fan and he wants Stadia to do better. And that's cool. EA cross-play functionality in online seasons and online friendlies on the PlayStation 5 and Stadia versions of EA. Oh, Stadia Adventure. Was this in an official press release? I should have a press release button, shouldn't I? Was that? Well, I need more. You can't just quote. There's not enough context there for me. Are they talking about FIFA 22? Are they talking about FIFA 23? Are they talking about an aspiration? Are they talking about an actual? When's it going to happen? Now I'm all excited and discombobulated about it. You need to send me a link, Stadia Adventure. Definitely. But if that is the case, maybe I'll just search that. Oh, I can find the link. Reverse engineering. Oh, it's all right. All right. I've got my Twitter open. Here we are. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. Courtesy of Stadia Adventure. Marcus. Pitch notes. Hold the presses. FIFA 22 crossplay test, FAQ. We're eager to let our players connect across multiple platforms, and in the new feature, we'll be testing crossplay functionality in online seasons and online friendlies on PlayStation 5, Xbox, and Stadia versions of EA Sports 2022. Boom. Wow. I'm just going to record a little video right now. Breaking news, everybody. But crossplay is coming to FIFA 22, and that includes Stadia. On the official EA Sports FIFA 22 pitch notes, they say, we're eager to let our players connect across multiple platforms, and in the near future, we'll be testing crossplay functionality in online seasons and online friendlies on the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X/S, Stadia, and Stadia versions of EA Sports FIFA 2022. Looking forward to see your feedback. Okay, when's it available? Available in online seasons, online friendlies. You can play FIFA 22 with a friend on another platform or climb the online seasons divisions, play against potential players playing on other platforms. It will be available to all players, including Stadia versions. So PlayStation 5, Xbox, Stadia. Note it's the next gen versions. Crossplay on next gen versions, not PC, just the next gen versions. Why is it only on online seasons, online friendlies? We want to enable our players to play with as many friends as possible, limiting the test to 2 modes to reduce the chances of introducing new issues into the game. Once the crossplay test is activated, when you're in the main menu of FIFA 22, you can find a widget in the bottom right-hand corner that can be opened down here with the corresponding button prompt. When they're going to roll it out, or just seeing if I missed the date. In order to cross-play with a friend online during this test, you have to open the widget in question, search for your friend by EA username, by their platform or EA username. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. That is amazing. Clip this, share it. There we go. Still not quite sure when it's coming. Available in the online seasons and online friendlies, isn't it? Anyway, check it out soon. It's going to be available soon. But there you go. That is massive. That is massive. Why test it out on Stadia, FIFA 22 on Stadia, if FIFA 23 is not coming to Stadia? Just putting it there. Wow. Let me know. Yeah, someone boot it up and see. Oh, you've retracted the message. Too late. I've got it. Wow. That is awesome news. Awesome news. Announced the day after the sale ends. Well, these things can't always line. Wow. Holy smokes. Big stuff. Indeed. Indeed, Loxem. Remember to hit the likes and all of that. Wow. Now, if there are any Reddit mods out there, I shall be posting this video on Reddit, taking you directly to this section. So please don't strike it down and spam. Yeah? That's all I'm saying. Anyway, on that bombshell, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Let's keep it up there. Wow. On that bombshell, let's call it a day. Wow. Why don't we do all of this same time, same place next week? Have a great week. And I'll see you. Well, see you next Monday, people. Goodbye.